What is up, fifth grade? Mr. G here, getting hyped up today on a lovely Wednesday afternoon. I'm hyped up because we are starting a new unit this week. We are talking about fractions. In this video, this is going to be an introduction to fractions. We're going to be focusing on some vocabulary words that you have to be a master of in order to be a master at doing fractions. So we're going to jump right into it and start off with some brand new fraction vocabulary that you guys need to know. So our first vocabulary words that we're going to be talking about are going to be numerator and denominator. A numerator is how many parts we have in a fraction is basically going to be our top number. The bottom number in a fraction, that's called our denominator, that describes the total parts in the fraction. So in this example, I have 3/4. That means I have a whole cut into 4 pieces, and of those 4 pieces, I have 3 of them. Okay, here's another example or another visual. I have a bar, it's cut into 4 pieces. That's my denominator, the total parts. And then 3 of those pieces are shaded in. The 3 is the numerator, and that's representing the parts we have out of the total parts. So I have 3 out of 4 parts. Okay, that is numerator and denominator. In our next example, we have 2 3/5. When you see a fraction written like this is called a mixed number. A mixed number has a whole number and a fraction with it. So I have 2 wholes and 3/5. Now, what would that even look like as a model? So I want you to imagine a circle or a bar, and it's cut into 5 pieces. I know it's cut into 5 pieces because the denominator 5 tells me the total amount of parts. Of those 5 pieces, all 5 are shaded in. When we have 5/5, that represents 1 whole. This right here is a value of 1. Here's another value of 1 whole. That is how we get 2 wholes. And then I have 3/5 more, so I'll need another circle cut into fifths, but this time I only have 3 shaded in. So this would be how I would model 2 3/5. This is called a mixed number. All right, 6/4. You notice how this is different? My numerator 6 is larger than my denominator 4. What do we call a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator? That is called an improper fraction. And it's exactly what it is. It's improper. The numerator is larger than the denominator. In order to have a proper fraction, the numerator would have to be smaller than the denominator. Another thing to keep in mind is whenever you have an improper fraction, that just means you have more than 1 whole. So in this example, I have 6/4. So my model is going to be cut into 4 pieces, and I have 6 of those 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 whole. But now I need 2 more pieces. So I have to draw another model, cut into 4 pieces, and then I'm going to get 2 more pieces for a total of 6. So 5, 6. We can take improper fractions and we can convert them or change them to mixed numbers. So the way I would change this is 1 whole and then 2/4 as a fraction. So that is called an improper fraction, and then we convert those into mixed numbers. All right, our last vocabulary word, and this is brand new to 5th grade. This is the most important thing that we want to be doing, okay? Sometimes we have to simplify a fraction. When we simplify a fraction, we are making an equivalent fraction by dividing the numerator and denominator by a common factor. So let's take a look at what that is. I've got 4/6, and I want to reduce that into its simplest form or simplify it. The way I do that is I need to think about my factors of 4, 1 times 4, 2 times 2, and I want to think about my factors of 6, 1 times 6, and 2 times 3. And I want to look, do they share a common factor? So take a look at these numbers. Do you see a common factor of 4 and 6? Well, I do. I see 2 and 2. They both can be divided by 2. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to take 4 and I'm going to divide it by 2, take 6 and divide it by 2, and I'm going to get an equal fraction in simplest form. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And so what I'm basically showing is 4/6 is the same value as 2/3. When you're taking a test in 5th grade, they may ask you to reduce the fraction or put it in simplest form. This is how you would have to do it. You find a common factor and then you divide both numbers by that factor. And we can see right there in our models, 4/6 is the same as 2/3. There's our dividing line to show us 4/6 and 2/3. All right, and our final vocabulary word that we're going to be talking about today, and this is another 5th grade specific skill, finding the least common multiple. Sometimes when you're adding and subtracting fractions, the denominators are not the same, and we are unable to add unlike denominators. Okay, when we find the least common multiple, we are going to be using multiplication to create a common denominator when we are adding and subtracting fractions. So let's take a look at our example. 1/4 plus 2/3. I cannot add those together because we cannot add unlike denominators. So in order for me to figure out what the common denominator is, I'm going to list out all my multiples of 4. So 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3. And you can see my results, 4, 8, 12. I'm going to do the same thing for my 3s. 3 times 1, which is 3, 3 times 2, which is 6, 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 3 times 4, which is 12. Once I list those multiples out, I'm going to look for which one they have similar, and I can see both of them have 12. That means I'm going to convert 1/4 into twelfths and 2/3 into twelfths. I'm going to make equivalent fractions using multiplication. So I can see that 4 times 3 gives me 12. 1, 2, 3. So whatever I do to the bottom, the denominator, I have to do to the top, the numerator. So I'm going to times 1/4 both by 3. 2/3, I'm going to multiply by 4 because I can see 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me to 12. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by 4 and the denominator by 4. This is going to give me two brand new fractions that are equivalent to 1/4 and 2/3. 1/4 is equal to 3/12, and 2/3 is equal to 8/12. Now that they have a common denominator, now I'm able to add those fractions. I only add the numerators, don't forget that. We never add denominators, and I get 11/12. All right, so those are your vocabulary words that you must know inside and out in order to be a fraction master. Specifically in 5th grade, we talk about simplifying fractions using division, and we find the least common multiple using multiplication when I have to add unlike denominators or I need to subtract unlike denominators. This is how we find a common denominator. All right, now that I've shown you those examples, it's your turn. Let's see if you can try these on your own. We got a few mix of problems. We got some problems that you will need to simplify by finding a common factor and then dividing. 4/8, 6/8. And then I have one for you where you're going to add these fractions by finding a common denominator using our least common multiple strategy. So go ahead and pause the video. See if you can do these 3 different problems on your scratch paper, and then when you're done, unpause the video and I'll walk you through the steps. All right, welcome back. So, simplifying these fractions, I want to simplify 4/8. The first thing I want to do is think about my factors of 4. 1 times 4, 2 times 2. So my factors are 1, 2, 4. Then I'm going to think about my factors of 8. 1 times 8, 2 times 4. So my factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8. When we're doing these when we're simplifying these fractions, we want to find the greatest common factor, the GCF, greatest common factor, because in this one I see they share 2, but they also share 4. If I were to pick 2, I would simplify it, but I could even simplify it further and I would have to do another step. When we pick the greatest common factor, or GCF, we're only going to simplify it one time and we'll have our answer. So I'm going to pick 4 and then I'm going to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. 8 divided by 4 is going to be 2. So therefore 4/8 is going to reduce or simplify down to 1/2. 4/8 is exactly the same value as 1/2. All right, 6/8. Let's do the same thing. Here are the factors of 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. And here are the factors of 8, 1, 2, 4, 8. I'm going to look for which number they have in common. If they have more than one number in common, then I'm going to pick the greatest factor that they have in common. In this one, I only see one number that they have in common, and it's going to be the number 2. So I'm going to divide 6 and 8 by 2, and I'm going to get an answer of 3/4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 6/8 reduces or simplifies to 3/4. All right, and our last one, 2/5 plus 1/3. I cannot add these because they do not have a common denominator. So I'm going to have to change these by using a strategy called the least common multiple to find a denominator that they both have in common. The way we do this is we list out all our 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. If I need to keep going, 25, 30. And then we're going to list out our 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We are going to look for which one they have in common. So look at those lists. See if you notice one of the numbers that they both have in common. I see 15 on both of them. That means I am going to convert both of these fractions into denominators of 15 or 15ths. The way I'm going to do that is through multiplication. I'm going to take 2/5 and I'm going to multiply it by 3 because 1, 2, 3. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to take 3 and turn it into 15 by multiplying it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because 3 times 5 is 15. When I do that, 2/5 becomes 6/15, and 1/3 becomes 5/15. Now that they have the same denominator, I'm able to add them. 6 plus 5 equals 11, and then we keep our 15ths the same. We never add the denominators. So our answer is going to be 11/15. All right, how did you do on that? Those are 2 brand new 5th grade skills. They can be tricky. You just need to practice. The more you practice and you get that process down, the easier they will become. All right, that is going to wrap it up for our fraction vocabulary for 5th grade. I appreciate you watching that video. Keep practicing. The more you do it, it's going to get easier. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That way you get notifications every time we release a new video on our channel. Drop some comments. Did this video help you? Would you like to see anything else about fractions? Let me know what you're wanting to learn. I'll make a video about it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate it. Until next time, Manta Rays, y'all keep on mathin'.